Carbajal is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Colby, thank you for being here today. And finally coming to this committee. I think many of my colleagues in this room from both sides of the aisle agree that communication coming from the department to Congress has been lacking. Trump has consistently said his administration is the most transparent in history. And I assume that that is something you take to heart. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and if you could not filibuster and answer the questions as simple and straightforward as possible, I would appreciate it. How much does the department spend per boat strike in the Pacific and the Caribbean?
Sir, I don't have that information, so I'll get back to you on it.
How many pounds of fentanyl have been destroyed in these strikes?
My understanding is quite a bit, but I'll have to get back to you with a specific answer.
In total, how much has been spent to date on boat strike operations?
Sir, I'll have to get back to you with a specific answer.
Southcom and SOCOM did not have funding appropriated for these appropriations. What accounts were used for these operations?
Sir, I'll have to get back to you with an answer. Obviously, I'm not responsible for primarily for the budget.
Mr. Colby, is it safe to assume you were involved in decisions and discussions leading to Operation Epic Fury?
Sir, I've been involved in, most of these kind of policy and strategy-related decisions.
The president recently said he has a very beautiful plan for what comes next in Iran. For the sake of transparency and for us on this committee and the American people, could you please share what Trump's so-called beautiful plan is?
Well, sir, as I said earlier, my work is mostly in the Pentagon, so I, rely on, our secretary and the chairman who are over in the White House. I wouldn't add or say anything to presume to interpret the president's words, but we're paying a lot of attention to making sure, as he has instructed, that we have a good outcome and a sustainable, intelligent one that serves Americans' interests in a lasting way.
Mr. Colby, we're not getting some answers from you. We're getting a lot of rhetoric and oftentimes no answers to our questions, no information. In the National Defense Strategy, our allies are criticized for, and I quote, investing in domestic programs. To a majority of the world, investing in domestic programs is also known as governing and taking care of your citizens. And I get this criticism was made in the context of allies not investing enough in defense. But even when a country is doing everything right, they seem to be punished by this administration. Take the Baltic nations, NATO's eastern flank, for example. They have consistently led defense spending by GDP in Europe, each topping 3%. And despite this, the administration attempted to zero out programs like the Baltic Security Initiative. What else should a NATO ally be doing, in your opinion, if their commitment to defense spending isn't enough to have this administration's support? Then what is?
Sir, I find it a little paradoxical that, it sounds like you advocate for more domestic programs. It's the American people who've been paying to indirectly subsidize. And don't take it from me, sir. Minister of Defense Collins from New Zealand has made this exact point. Secretary Bessent has pointed out that $22
If you could just answer my question, I would appreciate it.
So our allies have invested in their domestic societies. That's not fair. I mean, it seems kind of common sense to me, but it's also not sustainable. And the Europeans and the others, they're not contesting it.
What do they have to do?
Sir, they just
to
invest and do their part.
Heavily in defense?
And sir, let me be very clear. We are actually adapting. So, I mean, if you look at my travels last month to Brussels and to Munich, that was the message, and that was the message the Europeans perceived. And I would say a lot of this is a little bit, we're behind the target because we are actually working with our allies. They're not fighting the scenario. Everybody knows.
I reclaim my time.
Sir.
Let me ask you a few basic questions. Is Russia's illegal war in Ukraine a threat to the United States?
Sir, we're all supporting the
yes or
end
no?
of the war in Ukraine.
Just yes or no, Mr.
Sir,
Colby.
we take the Russian military.
Mr. Colby, how simple is it to answer yes or no?
We're taking the Russian military threat seriously, sir. Yeah.
Is Ukraine a friendly country?
Is it a friendly country? Yes, I think so.
Thank you. I would encourage you to answer our questions and not filibuster with a bunch of BS. Thank you.
Gentlemen,